Isn't it funny that all the black Hebrews say they're reclaiming their roots, but not a one of them are pressed to claim traditional African religions? So is this really about your roots, or do you just feel better about claiming something that is largely identified with whiteness? Now, I totally understand the African roots of Hebrew. Like, I have a master's in divinity. I went to seminary. I get it. Like, I totally understand the African. I got it. But I'm just saying, if Hebrewism and Judaism were not largely acceptable and identifiable to white folks, would you be this pressed? Because we can make a really great argument. Your roots are over in these African traditional religions too, and maybe even more so, but yet none of you are claiming that. I just find that odd.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Kwakwadash, Shabbat, honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to my Akim Wakwathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you with another lesson. And this lesson here is going to be a little bit of a less serious lesson, because this is, I think this has to be one of the dumbest, and I mean the dumbest videos I've ever had the displeasure of responding to and watching to, because this dude is literally just he's literally talking out of his ass, and he does not even understand like what the true meaning of it, of what the Israelites believe. It's like you're making, again, like this is a very common thing that people do, where they just make assumptions and then they just run with whatever bullshit assumptions that they have, rather than actually, it's like, so, but at the same time, it's not even just an assumption, it's just he's projecting his own desire to be white, to be an Edomite. Slocky, I was about to say white, but his own desire to be an Edomite, rather than acknowledging what he said, which what he said was that they are, what the fuck is that? I can't believe this. They're fucking showing me this shit. Anyway, what he said that the Hebrews are so-called black people, but yet he's going to double back and disqualify what he said. Like, it's just like, this is a completely double talk, like stupid thing to put out there, and you're just embarrassing yourself with how double-minded and how retarded you are. But at the same time, like the idiots that already don't mess with the Israelites, they're going to just take this type of shit and run with it, because no one cares about actual facts. All they care about is, oh, let's prove the Israelites wrong, let's talk bad about Israel, let's do this and the third. All right, and now let me get this. Where is it? Oh yeah, okay, so here, let's start with this one. Jeremiah 10 verse 2, or let's start verse 1. Hear ye the word of the Lord. Slakia. Jeremiah 10 verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Okay, so we are not supposed to be learning the way of the heathen. We're not supposed to be following after other customs and cultures and stuff like that. We're only supposed to be following after the singular culture of what Yahawadah gave us and told us to follow. Okay, so it is very contradictory and retarded to say that why don't we want to follow after other Hamitic or African, whatever you want to call it, customs, if they are against what Yahawadah told us to do. You literally, oh my god, you literally have so many different things where they, even as a matter of fact, IUIC literally went to Kenya, and they basically proved that they follow after freaking white Jesus. All right, so why would we want to follow after Christianity if you have Africans that are following after literally anything and everything, and they don't follow after they don't follow after the Lord. Okay, obviously there are some Israelites, all right, in, I think it's West Africa. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's West Africa. There are some Israelites in West Africa specifically, but outside of that, all their other customs and countries, they're not Israelite. And how and why would we claim something that has nothing to do with us? We're not multiple different cultures. We're one singular culture, which is Israelite. All right. And another thing is, it's like this dude either does not know or wants to intentionally ignore iconoclasm, which, let me get that as a matter of fact. Iconoclasm, okay, the action of attacking or assertively rejecting cherished beliefs and institutions or established values and practices, the rejection or destruction of religious images as heretical, the doctrine of iconoclasm. So basically, what happened with iconoclasm is that they changed the images of these biblical people or ancient people, or even with the Sphinx, the Egyptian Sphinx and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, let me get that. Sphinx. Even with the Sphinx, it's all intact, but just the nose is fucked up. All right. So the reason for that is because they don't want people to know that these are, or I'll say more specifically, that the facial features are Jake, or if not even just Jake, but Hamitic, or just dark skin. They don't have dark skin features in general, because obviously, what's it called? I'm drawing a blank on it. Egypt, Slovakia, is a Hamite nation. All right. So yes, the Sphinx and whatnot, they have those dark skinned people, and another aspect of it is what's it called? Oh yeah, with what's his name? Joseph. When Joseph was taken as a slave in Egypt, okay, he basically blended in. Also Moses, he also blended in because what in Africa, they were dark-skinned people, but you have Esau trying his damnness to convince people that people are actually, the people back then, they were actually white people, even though people, they don't Slovakia, the Edomites, they don't predominantly live in hot places like that. They stick in the Caucasus Mountains and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, that's another lesson anyway. But the main thing is just in general how the entirety of Africa and the origins of us as Israelites. We are Israelites, and we are not Hamite. We're not all those different things. So combining them together is just stupid, and it doesn't make any sense. All right. Next, 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 17. Wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Yeah, we're not going to associate with these other customs, okay, which they even with Egypt that I know of, they have the Egyptian god of Ra, Anubis, and all that stuff. We don't worship those gods. And again, like you're basically trying to make us think to associate them with the God of the Bible, when the God of the Bible, as a matter of fact, even in when the Israelites were in Egypt, they were going off by sacrificing their kids to their Egyptian gods, to the Egyptian gods and stuff like that, basically worshiping other gods. And that's when the Lord got mad and wanted us to separate from them, which is why Moses had to lead our people out of there. All right, that's another aspect of it, where again, like, there's no a harmonious thing, and that's another aspect where in general we don't just mix and max. Oh, I'm a so-called dark-skinned person, so let me go mix the Bible with some freaking other Hamitic customs and whatnot. All right, and again, that's just stupid, because that's not what our people back then, were punished for doing so. So why would we do the exact same thing? Once again, he's making assumptions, and then he just doesn't fully understand or comprehend the stuff that he is saying. He's just making an uninformed post off of just talking out of his ass. Next, again, going back into the whole white association, so-called white association. Revelation chapter 2 verse 9, I know that works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jays and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. And that's another thing where Esau basically is rich, and he stole our title. All right, he stole our title with the history of 1948, if you are aware. All right, where the U.S. president at the time basically helped them get established. So it was in 1948 that America, men that established them in that land that they're in today. All right. So again, like how are they the people if they are put in their land, if they are put in the land through the means of men rather than the means of YAHAWASHI. Okay, YAHAWASHI didn't send his angels down, send Yahawashi specifically down to go in. Oh yeah, now you guys are there. And on top of that, we aren't even following their customs, because they don't even know what they don't even keep the customs of YAHAWASHI. They've been changing that stuff. They've been changing the customs and stuff like that. One of the things is I think I have it out. Yes, I do have it out. In their tradition, they say you are a Jew if your mother is a Jew, and that's not what the Bible says. Okay, let me get this in Numbers chapter 1 verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, by their polls. And that's another thing, that this is commonly seen in general, where the people in general they acknowledge their history, their lineage and whatnot, based off their fathers. And that's just how people have always done it. And I don't know where this came from, but apparently it just goes to show just how they have stuff wrong. All right, where they went against and they say, oh no, you are what your mother is rather than what your father is. Basically just completely going against what the scriptures say, but yet they claim the Bible, but yet they claim to be people of YAHAWASHI. All right, okay. So yeah, this was a big thing. I'll read it right quick. This is from Wikipedia. Orthodox, and conservative, follow, law. Okay, just you can read it. I'm not gonna read that because I'm afraid to have the association in. But continuing on, deeming people to be J if their mothers are J, or if they underwent that conversion. Reform J and Reconstructionalist J accept both matrilineal and patrilineal descent as well as conversion. So now they're saying that we accept both sides, but that's not what that is not what the scriptures said. The scriptures plainly say it accepts only your father, and conversion is not a thing. The only convert is just what you already or mindset converting, like in the sense of not necessarily bloodline. No, bloodline is a prerequisite, but the thing is, like, for example, us, if you used to be in the world, okay, then you converted into being an Israelite. That's the thing, converting from mindset, not necessarily converting from bloodline, because you can't change your bloodline to say, oh, now I want to be a bloodline white person, or I want to be a bloodline black person. You can't change what your blood is. If you have 100% two so-called black parents, you can't say, okay, well, now I want to be a so-called white person. And that's the thing. Being an Israelite is not a religion. It is an ethnicity / a literal culture based off of our bloodline, and not on our belief or doctrine. All right. So there is no converting and stuff like that. Continuing on. Yeah, I already read this. I'm pretty sure I read that. Romans chapter 1 verse 25, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. And that's another thing. They're changing stuff to suit their purposes, saying, oh yeah, America had to give us this stuff. This is a work of the Lord, and blah blah. And they also say, oh, it's not just your father, it's not just your mother, it's your father, mother, or you can just convert. We're accepting people and all that stuff, but we will pick and choose who's going to be accepted in, because apparently they do not accept certain people, as from what I've heard. Okay. Next is they worship. There's a lot of worship for these 48ers going on right now, because they basically run the world and they have control over everything. All right, they have control over everything, and they don't really care about. It's like there's so many J people or 48ers that have abandoned the practices of Yahawadah, but yet ironically they claim that, oh yeah, we are the people, we are the God's chosen people, blah blah, but yet they don't hold true to any of the teachings that the Lord taught. All right, Micah chapter 1, which by the way, that was a part of the prophecy where if you being in the new covenant and being established in our place, then we would just know and always follow him. Follow Yahawadah. Micah chapter 4. Of course, you got the devil's freaking wanting to do stuff whenever I'm trying to do a lesson, but of course we keep on going. Micah chapter 4 verse 1, but in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow into it, and many nations shall come and say, come and let us go up into the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem, where the Lord is going to establish the government, or the house of Israel, on the top of all the nations. And we are going to be the ones where everyone's going to say and admire us, where not even everyone is admiring people. As a matter of fact, the people in Palestine, they hate them. They feel cheated. They feel that their stuff is being taken from them. Okay, their homeland is being taken from them, and it is an unrighteous thing. Where even recently, I saw a video of people of those 48ers basically running those people out of their houses. All right, that was I think that happened a couple of months ago, where. Again, they're just running up in people's houses and just saying, "Oh no, we own this place now," which is what Esau basically has been doing. That's the spirit of Esau, where he also did that with the so-called Native Americans as well, which are also Israelites. All right, they just ran up on their land and took their stuff. Okay, continuing on, but again, that's not how the Lord said that He would do it. The Lord would send Yahawashi to rule, in reference to Daniel chapter 7 verse 14 and Revelation chapter 1. All right, the entirety of Revelation chapter 1, or for the most part. The Luke chapter 6 verse 24. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye receive your consolation. And, this is just the consolation period of Esau being able to enjoy the wealth that he has now, and the Lord's going to take it away from him very soon. And finally, to end things off, just to further prove it, Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Basically, no man shall buy you basically means that no man is going to help you, redeem you, get you out of that situation. But in this case, in their case, the 48er case, a man did help them get the land. So that's clearly not what YAHAWASHI prophesied. Okay, so it goes against prophecy, which that's how we know who the true children of Israel are. Alright, so with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem. Wakwak Wadash, honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone, Biblical Israelites, Shalom.